In this video, we are going to discuss about complete computer description and design of a basic computer. So first let's see the flowchart here. So this is the starting step. Here the sequence counter is clear to 0. Interrupt enable flip-flop is clear to 0 as well as R is clear to 0. We know that sequence counter produces the timing signals such as T0, T1, T2 like that. If IEN is 0, then we can say that there is no interrupt. Whereas if IEN is 1, then we can say that there is interrupt. If R value is 0, then instruction cycle will get executed. Whereas if R is equal to 1, then interrupt cycle will get executed. So first let's check the value of R. If R is equal to 0, then instruction cycle will get executed. We know that there are 4 pages are there. Fetch page, decoding page, determining the effective address page and execution page. So here R value is 0. So that's why it is written as R dash. The first timing signal is T0. So during this phase, the address of the next instruction to be executed, that is the program counter is transferred to the address register. Next, an instruction is fetched from the memory and it will be loaded into instruction register. Here the instruction is present in memory of the address register. So we can write as IR arrow M of AR. So an instruction will be loaded, an instruction will be taken from the memory and it is loaded into the instruction register, as well as for the next time we have to execute the next instruction. The next instruction address is located in this program counter. So PC value should be incremented by 1. So next decoding will be done. We know that instruction register contains 15 bits, 16 bits from 0 to 15. So the bits from 0 to 11 are loaded into address register and the bits from 12 to 14 are decoded with a 3x8 decoder. Why? Because there are 3 inputs are there from 12 to 15. So it produces 8 outputs from D0 to D7. Okay. And the 15th bit of the instruction register is transferred to the flip-flop called I, indirected bit. Next, if D7 is 0, then it is memory reference instruction. Whereas if D7 is 1, then it is either register reference or IO instruction. If D7 is 1, then it is a memory reference instruction. Then we have to check whether I value is 1 or 0. If I is 0, then we can say that this is direct address. Direct address means we can get the operand directly. So we can execute that instruction directly. So this can be written as D7 value is 0. So D7 dash and I value is 0. So I dash. The next timing signal after T2 is T3. Okay. Next execute the memory reference instruction. This can be written as D7 dash and T4. We should not write I here because the value of I may be either 0 or 1. Okay. Whereas if I is equal to 1, then it is indirect address. Indirect address means that instruction contains the operand. Okay. So we have to take that operand. So that should be done with the help of AR arrow M of AR. Okay. So it will be loaded into address register. Now AR contains the operand. So now we execute the memory reference instruction. Okay. So now here what will happen? This AR will contains the effective address. Okay. This AR will contains the effective address. So based on that effective address, memory reference instruction will get executed. Whereas if D7 value is 1, then it may be either IO instruction or register instruction. If I value is 1, then we can say that it is IO instruction. Whereas if I value is 0, then we can say that it is a register reference instruction. So execute the IO instruction if I value is 1. So this can be written as D7 I T3 because I value is 1. Whereas here we have to write as D7 value is 1, whereas I value is 0. So I dash and the next timing signal is T3. So this is the diagram for complete computer description. Now let's see the instructions here. So till now we have seen all these instructions in instruction cycle, interrupt cycle, timing and control, memory reference instructions, register reference instructions and IO instructions. Already we have seen all these instructions. Okay. If I explain one more time, then it will take much amount of time. So for that purpose, I'm not going to explain all these things. If you want, just refer my previous videos. So this is for fetch page, this is for decode page, and this is for determining the indirect address page. Okay. And this is for interrupt page, and all these are nothing but memory reference instructions. Already I explained all these in my previous videos. If you have any doubts, then please refer those videos. Okay, I will share all those links in the description box about memory reference instructions, register reference instructions, IO instructions, instruction cycle, interrupt cycle, timing and control. I will share all those links in the description. Just go through that if you have any doubts. These instructions are register reference instructions and these instructions are IO instructions. Now let's see about design of a basic computer. In order to design the basic computer, we need to have a memory. Here the size of a memory is 4096 words, where each word contains 16 bits, and there are 16 registers are there. Address register and program counter are nothing but 12-bit registers. Data register, accumulator, instruction register, temporary register size is 16 bits, whereas output register, input register size is 8 bits. Sequence counter size is 4 bits. Okay, it is decoded with a 4 by 16 decoder. Okay, so we will have 16 timing signals from T0 to T5, and we have several flip-flops are there, like this is nothing but indirect flip-flop. S stands for start stop flip-flop, extended flip-flop. R stands for in order to check whether instruction cycle or interrupt cycle, we will check R flip-flop. IEN stands for interrupt enable flip-flop. FGA stands for input flag flip-flop. FGO stands for output flag flip-flop. So we will use all those flip-flops, and we have two decoders, 3x8 decoder and 4x16 decoder. So 3x8 decoder is useful in order to decode the bits from 12 to 14 of the instruction register, and 4x16 for decoding the sequence counter. Okay. Next, we will have a common bus whose size is 16 bits. Why? Because here data register, accumulator, instruction register, and temporary register size is 16 bits, and it will produce some control logic gates, as well as so it will produce some adder and logic circuit. Okay, in this video we will discuss about how we can control the logic gates, whereas in the next video we will discuss about adder and logic circuit with the help of the accumulator. Okay, now let's see about some control logic gates. The control logic gates are useful in order to control. In timing and control diagram, already we have seen that all the inputs will be applied to the control logic gates. We have instruction register. In instruction register, 0 to 11 bits are applied to the control logic gates, and 12 to 14 are decoded with a decoder, and these bits are applied to the control logic gate, and 15th bit, that is a flip-flop, is applied to the control logic gate, as well as sequence counter is decoded with a 4x16 decoder. That information is also applied to the control logic gate, and control logic gate produces some output. That output is useful in order to control all these things. So the control logic gates are useful in order to control the inputs of 9 registers, to control memory. Memory has a read control input as well as write control input, and in order to control the flip-flop. On flip-flop, we can perform operations like set operation, clear operation, and complement operation, as well as we can control the selection inputs of the multiplexer. Okay, we will have 3 selection inputs. Already we have seen common bus system in the first chapter. We will have 3 selection inputs. So based on the selection input, we will place the information in the bus. Okay, and we will control the accumulator also. We will discuss about accumulator in the next video. First, let's see about how we can control the address register. We will have totally 8 registers are there, but out of 8 registers, we have taken one register, that is address register, and I will try to demonstrate how we can control the address register. We know that each register contains 3 control inputs. The first control input is load control input, the second control input is increment control input, and the third control input is clear control input. Here, what is our target? Our target is we want to control what? Address register. So we need to consider the instructions whose left hand side contains address register. Why? Because here left hand side means destination, right hand side means source. Okay. So let us consider. So we have to determine. We have to check all these instructions. Fetching instruction, decode, indirect, interrupt, memory reference, register reference, IO instructions. We have to scan all these instructions and write the instructions where the left hand side is address register. So if we consider the first one, R-T0, the left hand side contains AR. Okay, so this is the first instruction. And if we consider the second one, we don't have AR in the left hand side. If we consider the third one, So we have AR in the left hand side. Okay. Here also we have AR in the left hand side. Okay. So likewise we have to take all the instructions whose left hand side is AR. Okay. So what is the first one? R dash T naught, AR arrow PC, next R dash T2. So likewise several instructions are there. So I have written all those instructions. So R dash T naught. So this is control function. This is micro operation. Some register transfer statement. So PC arrow AR. Okay. So what is the meaning of this statement? Load address register. Okay. So this is nothing but load control input. If we enable the load control input of the address register, then program counter information will be transferred to the address register. Next one, R dash T2. So during this timing signal, what will happen? The instructions from 0 to 11 are transferred to the AR. So left hand side contains AR, left hand side contains AR. So here these three instructions are for loading the control input. Okay. So if we enable load control input of the address register, then the information which is present in the memory is transferred to the address register. Whereas if we consider this one, address register value is 0. So that means we have to enable the clear input. Whereas if we consider this one, this is plus. Plus means increment. So we need to enable what? Increment control input. So for this, for all these functions, we have to draw the circuit here. So I have drawn a circuit here. So this is nothing but address register. So what is the clear input here? What is the clear input statement? So R dash, and what is this one? T naught. So R dash T naught is nothing but clear input. Likewise, what is the increment here? Increment means it is accepting two inputs, D5, T4. Okay. What is increment? So D5, what is increment? D5, T4. Whereas load means we have to add all these things and perform the addition operation. Okay. We have to add all these things. Okay. So what is the first one? D7 dash IT3. So this is nothing but multiplication. This is nothing but second control function. So first one is D7 dash IT3. Next we need to perform multiplication on this one. Next we need to perform multiplication on this one. And we need to add these three terms. Okay. So for that purpose we are using what? This OR gate in order to add those three terms. This is load control input. If you apply the clock pulse, then the corresponding operation will be performed here. Okay. So from the bus we will get some data, as well as we can place address register information on also bus. So this is nothing but bus. Okay. Address register can place information on the bus, as well as bus can transfers the information to the address register. So till now we have seen how we can control the address register. So likewise we can draw the diagram for the remaining 7 registers also. But if we draw the diagram for the remaining registers also, then it will become too much complicated. So that's why we have taken only this register, address register. Now let's see about how we can control the read control input of the memory. We know that memory has two control inputs, read control input as well as write control input. Here we are discussing about only the read control input. We know about memory read operation. Read operation means placing memory information on the bus, whereas write operation means transferring the information on the bus to the memory. Okay. So read means memory will be in the right hand side. So we have to scan all those instructions and take the instructions whose right hand side contains memory. So all those instructions are present in memory reference instructions. If you consider memory reference instruction, D0 T4, M of AR, in the right hand side we have M of AR. If we consider this one, M of AR. If we consider this one, M of AR. So likewise we need to scan all the instructions and check. Okay, here also if we consider this one, so here also we have M of AR. So we need to take all those instructions whose right hand side is M of AR. So these instructions contains M of AR in the right hand side. Okay, so if we consider these instructions, here T4 is the common term here. So that's why we have written like this: D0 plus D1 plus D2 plus D6 into T4. And what is this one? D7 dash I T3. And what is this one? R dash T1. Okay. If we add all these terms, then we will get the corresponding circuit. Okay. Next let's see about IN flip-flop. How we can control the IN flip-flop. Already we have seen about that. Control logic gate are useful in order to control the registers. Among the registers, we have seen about how we can control the address register. And we have seen how we can control the memory read control input. So likewise, we can draw the diagram for memory write operation also. Memory write operation means that memory should be taken in the left hand side. Okay. So let us consider for IEN. Okay. So for that purpose, we have to scan all the instructions whose right hand side contains what? IEN. If you consider this one, IEN arrow 1, IEN arrow 0. So likewise, we have IEN at the at this place also. So where is IEN here? If you consider the interrupt cycle, so in the interrupt cycle also we will have IEN as there. So we will write all those instructions now. Okay. So what are these instructions? PB7, PB6, PB7, PB6. So PB7, PB6, and in RT2 dot also, RT2 also, we have IN value as 0. Here P value means D7, IT3. So these instructions are nothing but IO instructions. IO instructions are executed when D7 is 1, I is 1, as well as T3 is active. So for that purpose, we have drawn this diagram. Here we have taken the JK flip-flop, and this is nothing but Q output. So this is what RT2, P7, IT3, PB7, PB6, and we performed addition operation on these terms. Okay. And now let's see about how we can control the selection inputs. So till now we have seen about how to control address register, how to control memory read control input, as well as how to control IEN control input. Now let's see how we can control the selection inputs. Here there are three selection inputs are there, S2, S1 and S2, and these are nothing but Boolean variables. So when X1 is 0 and when S2, S1, S0 is 0, then nothing will be performed. Whereas when X1 is 1 and selection inputs are 0, 0, 1, then one operation will be performed. If you observe this diagram, you will get the clarity. Here if you consider the first row, here all the Boolean variables values are 0, as well as selection inputs are 0, so nothing will be performed here. If you consider this one, when X1 is 1 and the selection inputs are 0, 0, 1, then address register information will be placed on the bus. Already we have seen this in the first unit, register transfer common bus system. So likewise, when X2 is 1, as well as the selection inputs are 0, 1, 0, then program counter information we places on the bus. Here we are considering about only address register. Let's see about how we can control the address register. So likewise, we can draw for the remaining all are also, but we are considering about only address register. So when address register places its information on the bus, when X1 value is 1, as well as the selection inputs are 0, 0, 1. Okay. So now we have to scan all those instructions and take the instructions where the right hand side is address register. Why? Because here the address register is placing information on the bus. Okay. There are two instructions are there. So this is the first instruction where the right hand side is AR, and this is the second instruction where the right hand side is AR. Okay. If we add these two, then we will get the output here. So X1 is equal to D4 T4 plus D5 T5. Okay. And likewise we can draw for X7 also. Okay. So when X7 is active, when all the selection inputs are 1, 1. When all the selection inputs are 1, 1. So that means here memory places its information on the bus. So memory places its information on the bus. So that is nothing but which operation? Read operation. Okay. Already we have seen about read operation. Okay. So this is nothing but read operation. Okay. R-T1 plus D7 I-T3. So we have drawn this. We have written that one more time here. Okay. We can draw the diagram for this also. Okay. This is about complete computer description as well as design of a basic computer. In the next video, we will see about this one, design of the accumulator.